This is what an hour. Okay, good evening. Welcome. It's a beautiful evening in downtown Schenectady. We welcome everyone to the Metroplex Board of Directors meeting. We're very honored tonight to welcome a new board member, Dr. Haywood Horton. He likes to be called Doc, which is really easy for me to remember. I'm everybody else.
Call me Doc.
Doc.
Hi, everybody.
And great addition to the board, appointed by the NISCUNA supervisor and unanimously confirmed by the county legislature. We had the chance to debrief him a week or so ago, and I think he'll be off to a great start. Comes to us with a great background as a professor at SUNY Albany. I think we shared his resume. Just a great new addition to the board. And speaking of new additions, we have a new staff member. We're thrilled to welcome Danielle Walsh. Thank you for joining us. It's a round of applause. But joining us in the Gilliland Chamber, lives in Glenville in the county, which is great. And we welcome her off to a very fast start, has a great background in this field. So we welcome Danielle. First item on our agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes of the June 29th meeting. We have a motion. Sharon, second. Karen, any comments, suggestions, thoughts? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the report say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? We have, I think, a really exciting agenda tonight. Projects all around the county. We start in downtown.
Can we start
Oh,
with the
I'm sorry.
treasurer's report?
I was so anxious to jump into our
So,
agenda.
It's okay, can I
We're
give a
moving
little
Karen-
report? It's really
Karen's
good news.
thunder.
Okay, we'll do the treasurer's report. I
All right.
apologize.
So, no, our actual earned income through the end of July is 6,148,028, and we are 606,361 over our budgeted amount. So we're having a really good year. Our cash and equivalents are 6,668,698. So we're in a very, very good position from a cash standpoint. And we have a pre-development available balance of 276,315. So we're in very good shape from a financial standpoint. So
Thank you. Have a motion to accept the treasurer's report. Sharon, seconded by Bob. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. I should also note that Neil Gold is excused tonight. He has a meeting at the Jewish Community Center in Niskuna. He's very dedicated to that organization. So he called me, and I appreciate that, to say he could not make it. The meeting was right at the same time. Now we move to some of the resolutions we have this evening. The first one involves the company moving to 620 Union Street, and we'll ask Jamie to give us an update on the Affinity Group.
I think most of us will recognize the building from the photo in the general project plan on page 2, which the Affinity Group is buying and looking to relocate from a small office in Latham to much larger facilities here in downtown Schenectady. The building's over 13,000 square feet, had been used as a marketing advertising agency, but now it's on the market, and they're going to convert it into offices and a culinary training forum. Basically, the Affinity Group is a manufacturer's rep, so they do a lot of business with with both restaurants, retailers. Their market will be here in upstate New York, Western New England, but they have facilities throughout the country, over 50 facilities in the United States and several more in Canada. They've grown through mergers and acquisition. So they're a very robust company, I would say, at this point from talking to them. The project is a $1.1 million renovation of the facility. We've seen the plans. A lot of it is they set up this gigantic commercial kitchen. They bring in their clients. They show them all kinds of products, things that are coming on board. They're pretty interesting business. And so they're going to be making that investment with the help of a $100,000 Metroplex grant, a sales tax exemption, and a mortgage recording tax exemption. 2 resolutions. One is the seeker resolution. It's an unlisted action, so there's no negative impact. And obviously, it's a very positive impact with occupying a vacant building. And then the second resolution is the approving resolution for financial assistance.
A motion on the first resolution. Sharon, second. Aaron, just a couple of comments. We thank Peter Struzzi and Joseph Mahoney from the Pyramid Brokerage Group. They ran the site search for this project, looked all over Eastern New York. As Jamie said, great company. They have almost 1,000 employees nationwide. Liked the church, former church, which had been converted. It's a very cool space. Love the fact that downtown is busy and vibrant, that there's restaurants literally steps away. Love the fact that the community college has a very robust culinary program, one of the best in the country. So they saw that as a recruiting tool. Like the fact that the Gold headquarters is close by because they rep for companies that do business with, obviously, Market 32 and Price Chopper. We worked hard to pursue this. When people are looking and expanding and looking for a location, we're very aggressive in the best sense of the term. And we're able to get them to come in. They're buying the building, which we like. We hated the fact that this building was empty. It's right across the street from Malcolm's and that whole row of restaurants on Lower Union Street. That's very attractive. They're going to put a lot of money into it. We love the kitchen. It kind of adds to the whole restaurant scene downtown. So there's a lot to like about this project. Big national companies saying we could have gone anywhere. We're going to downtown Schenectady. So encourage your support. Happy to answer any questions on either of the resolutions from the board.
I don't see any purchase numbers in here. Are they leasing it from another parent company?
No, they are purchasing it. Typically, we don't disclose the purchase price. It's part of the application, though.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's above and beyond the 1-1. Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're purchasing it likely through an ownership entity and then leasing it back to the company. As you see that, it's very common. But they are buying it. Any other questions or comments? Talked to the company president today. Was very excited to move this forward. See no other comments or questions on the seeker resolution. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We need a motion on the second resolution to adopt the project. Sharon, second by Sharon. Again, any further comments or questions? We welcome Affinity Group to downtown. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We'll move on to the Armory and ask Jamie to summarize this project.
So we've talked about the Armory before, but now certainly in the context as a kind of an entertainment center, and with the Van Gogh exhibit going on currently, there's just been tremendous amount of activities. It's been a huge success that I'm sure Ray will want to talk about some more. The focus of this is more improvements to the 85-year-old facility. Ray Legere must really just like old buildings. So there's always something to do in them. And in this case, there's really an upgrade to some of the major building systems, particularly the HVAC, the electrical systems. National Grid has done a tremendous amount of work. Some of this was intended to get the Van Gogh exhibit in, but obviously it has a payoff with the work that's going on, and the attraction of the facility is a TV, film, entertainment center, which there'll be more things coming out on that later. Total project costs about $665,000. Metroplex will be making a cost-sharing $325,000 grant to the Legere to continue the work that needs to be done on the facility. But it really is turning into a real first-class facility in downtown Schenectady and has had huge benefits recently, and so we recommend approval of the grant.
Need a motion on this?
So moved.
Karen, seconded by Bob. Just, we thank the Legers. They bought this at auction from the state a number of years ago. They were doing soccer and sports. They listed it with the state as a potential site for movie and television production. We're now aggressively pursuing that. We've had Showtime, HBO, and Amazon all in this building in the last couple of years. That is amazing to think about an empty military armory that's really transformed itself. The drill hall section of we're talking to Doc about this. He's been in the building. If you haven't been in the building, you got to go. I mean, the main hall, no columns, high bay. There's a lot of electrical HVAC work. We're doing some exterior lighting here. Really set the place up for more work. One of the things I wanted to get to in the meeting tonight is the work is being done principally by Schenectady Hardware and Electric, which is located downtown. The last project, the winning contractors, Mid-State Industries. I think it's important to recognize the ripple effect of these projects on other companies in the community. But this is great. Yesterday they had a casting call at the Armory for two different movies because Van Gogh is dark on Tuesdays. So they did a big casting call, and they're lining up movies and things post Van Gogh. So it's just, I mean, you've all heard about this. We've talked about it a lot. It's a major entertainment job hub in Lower State Street. The work we did on South Church Street makes it so accessible. The county's purchase of the big parking lot behind Frog Alley gives it the parking it needs. So it's just onward and upward with the Armory. We're really excited about it.
You forgot to mention the lounge. So
They just opened the old Officers Club in the Armory. They turned into a lounge, a restaurant bar.
Yeah.
And just keep making improvements there. It's really terrific. If you haven't seen Van Gogh, you got to get in there and see it.
it's cool.
So,
Well, I would just like to say that we went to Van Gogh, my whole family was there. It was just so impressive, and the improvements that have been made are just tremendous.
And it's
It's
funny,
very
like,
exciting.
every group that comes in kind of helps improve the building a little bit. Like Van Gogh recarpeted the whole entrance area,
Yes.
because they wanted the sound and things. So everybody comes to kind of add some value to the building. So great project. Any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We come back downtown to the Habitat for Humanity store and ask for Jamie to summarize resolution 1572-22.
The Habitat for Humanity project is right around the corner from us at 115 Broadway. Facade project. We're sharing the costs on the facade project. It's a building that I remember as Gold Stocks. I guess it's been a lot of other things over time. It's a kind of a crazy building, kind of put together. It's amazing how much work they've done both inside and outside. Replaced the roof. Now it's a facade project. Mural, which just happened only in the last week or so. So $60,000 project, $30,000 Metroplex facade grant. They've made some other improvements as well, but this will certainly be more noticeable. I think they're just kind of almost finishing the facade project, right, David? Yes.
Looks
So
good.
looking good.
Have a motion on the second on this, Brad. Thank you, Karen. A lot of people go to this store. It's popular.
Yep.
A lot of young people starting out get some great furniture buys there. All the proceeds go to build habitat homes in the county, which they're very active. They partner with the land bank on a lot of projects. The mural looks great. That's a DRI project funded with some of the $10 million grant that came to Schenectady. If you haven't driven by it, it just went up this week. It really looks great. David's smiling because I was known widely to be anti-mural, and now I'm coming around. I am reformed. I admit when I'm wrong. Not really, but in this case,
We'll take it.
but it looks great, and the facade was really beat up, and that's getting fixed, and it's just a great organization. They have tremendous volunteers, so many, especially ex-G employees, current G employees. IUE is kind of adopted. IUE CWA 301 is adopted kind of Habitat. It's a big sponsor, so great little project. Modest investment by Metroplex. Any other questions? We have a motion and a second, correct? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we go to Van Rankin Avenue, a project that David's been working very hard on. I've been pushing to get this done, and I'm really, really excited and eager to bring this forward and see this work go forward. To ask Jamie to summarize the 2 resolutions.
Right, we have 2 resolutions. Local developer is buying 4 properties on Van Branken Avenue. The project focuses on the demolition of the old Cornell's restaurant and the Ritz Terrace, which is more or less right next door to it. Metroplex is helping out with the demolition side of it. Following the acquisition of the property, the asbestos abatement demolition, Metroplex is putting up a $200,000 conditional loan for the project. So we're creating an incentive. It could convert to a grant over the next 2 years, assuming it's going to get redeveloped. So we're creating the incentive to redevelop this property very quickly once they demolish it, prepare the site, get it cleared, get it ready for the next step. The developer is already looking at financing options and some local plans. Obviously needs to go through the local planning process. Dan Tolling's been selected as the demolition company to do the work. So it's kind of ready to go. Closing is, it hasn't taken place. It's close to taking place, right?
It'll happen in September, and then you'll have some time to get National Grid to do the disconnects, abatement. We hope to have demolition done later this year.
So the first demolition is the seeker resolution, unlisted action, negative declaration, obviously a real positive thing happening in the community. And the second resolution is the Metroplex conditional loan for $200,000.
A motion on the first resolution. Karen, second by Nancy. Young developer, Brendan Nally, he and his family have renovated a lot of homes on the north side. They live over on the north side. Nice young gentleman. David has put a lot of time and effort into helping him get the bids in place, get the pricing in place. I won't go into a whole soliloquy on the mistake that was made by incentivizing Cornell's to move from Van Rankin to North J. I will avoid that. If you want to have that discussion offline, I would love to fill you with my thoughts on that. But this is very important. This is a terribly blighted site now. It's full of graffiti. It's overgrown. It looks horrible. Van Rankin is a hugely important corridor. There's a new stewards on Van Rankin. The old bank on the corner, Union College, did a great job rehabbing. The Yates Village project is almost $100 million worth of work at the end of Van Rankin. The new $15 million towpath trail project that we were involved with just off of Van Rankin is there. We still have a lot of work ahead on Van Rankin, but it's very important. Habitat's done a bunch of things over there. The land bank's done some great work over there. The north side of the city is very, very important. Again, staying with our theme, a company from, these are local companies getting the contracting work, which is, very important. I should have mentioned the Habitat contractor. Again, I'm jumping back because I keep forgetting to make this point. Is a company from Glenville called Quinlan's Construction Services. So again, it shows the money staying in the community and the ripple effect of our thing. But we're really excited to bring this forward. We've been working on this for at least a year, David, I would guess. There are leaky tanks under these buildings. That's not good for anybody. So we're gonna abate the asbestos. We're gonna take down the buildings. We're gonna take out the tanks that are, endangering the groundwater and who knows what else is happening under there. We're going to clean that out and have a shovel-ready site. If the development moves forward as planned, we forgive the loan. If they don't move forward, we take the site, right, David? Is that how we've laid it out?
You have to repay us or possibly use the site.
Right. So we have site control here. And it's just something that we need to do for this neighborhood. It's long overdue. It's big car count out front.
So bad.
What's that?
Is it marinara tanks or?
I have a question.
Sure.
Do we have any idea he's going to develop the property? Is he going to make it commercial? Is he going to make it mixed use? Is he going to make it
residential?
residential?
With some ground floor retail. He's working with Community Preservation Corp, which has got some programs for small developers like we're using on Barrett Street.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is a young developer who's got a lot of passion, got a lot of interest. We just improved the corridor by getting these buildings out of there.
Oh, I
You know,
agree.
If we develop a green space there and a splash pad, it would be a wonderful thing for the neighborhood. We're more concerned, and it's a great question, but we really got to you look at these buildings, they're a disgrace. They're just.
No, I was just thinking from a zoning standpoint, whatever, I just want to make sure whatever he wants to do is appropriately zoned for, which I think it is, and it should be anyways.
Yep. That's a good question. Any other questions or comments? Very excited. Thank David for all his hard work. All those in favor of adopting resolution 1573-22, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next resolution 1574-22, need a motion and a second. Aaron and Nancy, thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we go up to Crane Street, 2 facade projects. I'd ask Jamie to summarize.
Well, you'll recall that in the past, I think we've done 5 of these type projects in the past on Crane Street. There's a New York Main Street grant award to BCNI. We've partnered with them on these projects. Take some properties on Crane Street where you have an operating business on the ground floor, residential occupancy on the second floor, and just try to make a substantial investment, slow but sure, making progress on Crane Street. So the first project is 869 Crane Street. The plan is to provide a $50,000 matching grant, so it matches the New York Main Street grant, plus additional owner equity. So it's a substantial investment of $127,000 into this building. So the Main Street grant really targets these types of properties, and so we're working with the land bank, with BCNI, to kind of get some momentum going, more momentum on Crane Street at this point. So that'll keep this project moving along, and then we'll follow up with the second project, which is very similar. Our participation is $28,000 as a matching grant.
Can we move these together, or?
Sure.
Let's move these together. Have a
So
motion.
moved.
Karen, second by Brad. I want to thank David again for all his work. The county, we knocked down, what was the name of the pizza? Chubby's Pizza.
How can you forget?
Infamous place. I'll never forget at the demolition ceremony, the neighborhood leader asked me if she could throw a brick through the window before we took the excavator in there. And I said, just be careful, it doesn't bounce back and hurt anybody. But the county built a beautiful library up there, and slowly, with the city's invested in parks and Wi-Fi. We have a $20 million project pending up there on some vacant city-owned property with housing tax credits. The Wallingford Park project, the $14 million Boys and Girls Club, the Main and Craig project that just got funded for transportation improvements. These are all things that will together hopefully continue the progress on Crane Street. These facade projects are very important, and we're very pleased to move this one forward tonight. And again with the theme, I'm remembering now, instead of having to go back, there's a company from Alplaus that's doing this facade and the next facade. Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, are these the last 2 on the Main Street grant? What numbers
These are
are?
anticipated to be the last 2.
The last
based on
2.
the timing of when they have to be completed on the stage.
Okay, I just wanted to, we're almost done then.
Yep.
Okay, great.
So I just want to really commend David, because this project would never have happened if he didn't stay on top of it. I mean, this is 3.5 years in the making, I think, for the most part. I mean, but I think David's been like daily on it for the last 3.5 years. I
We're the
mean,
Mount Pleasant Merchant System,
yeah.
pretty much Karen is a big part of, and
it's just, it's amazing that this has
Banners-
finally come into
banners are
fruition.
coming out. They've
Yeah.
kind of framed the neighborhood as Engine Hills. That's where the rail line ran from Schenectady to Albany,
Yeah.
some of the first railroads in the country. Again, David's got countless hours into this.
No, I'm so happy this is getting done. This is like a huge project that I'd never thought was gonna get done. So thank you, David.
And I think Karen also, that if it hadn't been for Metroplex really
Oh,
actually.
yeah, no,
doing
I
this,
agree.
We could have never.
No,
could never.
Absolutely not.
It's great.
You know, and there's a lot of work with the
And we thank
community
BCNI as
neighborhoods
well.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very good group. So,
It's the cooperation and the
Yes.
collaboration,
Everybody.
because everybody chipped in, everybody helped out, and
Right.
it's a great project, and I'm just thankful it's getting done.
again, company from Outplus picks up 2 facades in the neighborhood, gets
Yep.
a good meaningful work. And again, we're not investing in these companies. We're investing in the buildings. That's
Yep.
the key point when we were talking to Doc about how much we're a capital grantor lender. We invest in buildings. We don't invest in the companies because the companies come and go, users come and go, families come and go from homes. But the building stock of that area needs work. It really does. And it needs to be cleaned up, and we're getting there. So thank you, David. We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of both resolution 1575 and 1576, say aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We go back to downtown now and a lease with the city on J Street where the terrible J Street fire was a number of years ago.
Yeah, I think everyone remembers the fire in 2015. You can see from the photo opposite City Hall. Again, kind of Karen's theme of, cooperation and collaboration. City Hall's been great on working with Metroplex to provide a 5-year lease with a 5-year renewal at $1 per year. Mayor's office, very helpful. Council, working with the city council to get this done very, very quickly. The paperwork is all in at the corporation counsel's office, so we're kind of ready to go. Stimulated by DSIC's $20,000 AARP grant, so we want to work with them on the site. Metroplex has been maintaining the site since the fire, really just mowing it and picking up litter and that kind of thing. But now we can remove the fence, work with DSIC. They've got some plans on the site. Not really a park, or they refer to it more as placemaking, where you're really helping the local residents down here, finding opportunities for other things to do. You'll see improvements with outdoor furniture, some new lighting, turn it into a cool place downtown where you can sit, relax, have your lunch or whatever. Really fits into just a lot of the activities that are going down here that, we see it every day. We're working on different projects. We're working on our Clinton North project on the other side of the J Street, redoing the parking lot. Seems like it's pretty easy, flat and black, put in some new striping. But when you look at the new businesses that are opening up with the Redburn project where Citizens Bank used to be, new restaurants going in there. Ron Suriano's opening up a new deli right next door to the parking lot. There's been a lot of publicity about the gaming shop with the bar, which sounds just great, opening up. And what we observe is you see people that are just moving back and forth in the downtown, past City Hall. They cut through, they're not following the sidewalks. They're cutting through urban co-works. They come through our parking lot. They're heading in the direction where all these activities are taking place. So you can sort of see it developing where a site like this can become, pretty prominent in the downtown. So I think it's a great time to jump into it, working with the DSIC. So the first resolutions are seeker resolution. The second resolution is approving the 5-year lease with the 5-year extension. We're setting aside $50,000. We need to do some surveys. We need to do some other work, and we'll work with the DSIC, of course, on their planning for the site. I'm sure, it's not a really big plan at this point. It's going to happen incrementally, but you'll see changes, and maybe we'll be coming back for more money in the future for some other improvements.
Need a motion on this, Doc? You want to make it because you know the site.
All right, he's going to be in the band. You're going to be in the band.
I just want to quickly let guys know that back in 2015, when this fire took place, my band, Don Ford, the J Street Band, we actually got our start at Ambition Cafe in J Street. I co-produced a concert at Proctor's to raise money for the victims of this fire. And so yeah, I really have this project is close to my heart. And so when we do finish this, get the park set up and everything, I like for my band just to be there during the inaugural event.
Oh, that would be
display.
nice.
Yeah, and just no charge. We just want to do this. J Street is our home.
That's great.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm excited about this.
Motion.
Yeah,
Thank you.
my motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Karen? I want to thank the DSIC for the partnership, the city's cooperation. They won a national competition for this $20,000 grant. AARP gave out placemaking grants around the country, and they were a winner, so it's very significant. So Happy to move this forward. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we need a second resolution. Doc, you want to make that as well? Then move that. We need a second. Karen, any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now, next we go to Glenville, and we'd ask Jamie to talk about building 605.
This is working with our friends at the Gillespie Group in the Glenville Business and Technology Park. 605 is really a vacant piece of land at this point, 4.6 acres. Planning to build an 85,000 square foot building on the parcel. They've received their town approvals at this point. They're going to clear the site, start working on the building. Construction would start right around October 1st. They expect it to be open by May. As you know, they've been doing these distribution facilities both in Glenville and Rotterdam. There's a hot market for it, number one, but they're taking advantage of it, building these spec buildings, and they figure out a way to find a tenant to fill the building. So it's a $6 million investment. We need to hold a public hearing first due to her financial assistance of the sales tax, mortgage tax, and real property tax exemptions. So we'll hold a public hearing in the next couple of weeks and come back for the final approval at the next meeting.
Bobby, want to make a motion on this from Glenville? Thank you. We need a second. Nancy, thank you. I want to thank the Gillespie Group. I want to thank the town of Glenville. This project is shovel ready. It used to be good enough to be shovel ready with a site. There was a building on this site. It was an old Navy depot building, actually burned down years ago. So the site is vacant. It's kind of unkempt, actually. It's behind the old commissary. And it used to be good enough to just say we have a shovel ready site. But now we found that you actually have to have the building built. Yeah, and this is where the Gillespie Group has really made it. You can't just have a site. People are in such a rush to get to market with things that they want to be able to have a building that's in moving condition. So that's what we're doing here. It's about 85,000 square foot building that they're constructing. All the town approvals are in place. We're excited to see this. If you look at the improvements that have happened at this Glenville Park, one after another, nothing happened prior to 2004 except the Super Steel project, which I did when I was at the state. But since then, Old Dominion, Adirondack Beverage, Belgioso Cheese 1, Belgioso Cheese 2, CTDI 1, CTDI 2, one building after another in this park. It's a great partnership with the town of Glenville, with their planning board, with the supervisor and his team. We're slowly rebuilding that park, from the western side toward the village. And it's really going well. This will be another great addition to the park, so we urge your support of this resolution. We're just doing the standard pilot, and which will create new property tax for the town. The school district in Glenville does not have 45B as of right, so we have to adopt a pilot. They had 45B as of right. We wouldn't have to do the pilot, but it's starting at 50. They pay 100% of the land. We start at 50% of the taxes and move up 5% a year over 10 years to get full value. But right out of the box, we're making an impact on the tax base. Any other questions or comments? Happy to move this forward. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we go to Niskayuna for a expansion with a very important technology company that's in our community.
This is another resolution to hold a public hearing for E1's expansion project. E1 is on Balltown Road. They're planning on a 35,000 square foot addition to their existing facilities. They're expanding their manufacturing assembly production space. It would create 30 new jobs. $8.2 million project. Again, sort of same package we just talked about, sales tax exemption, mortgage reporting tax exemption, they probably won't use, and a pilot. Really terrific company, really great products. We've had this before for some smaller expansions, but this is a pretty significant expansion for the company. Hold the public hearing in a couple weeks, come back for the final review at the next meeting.
Can I have a motion on this? Doc, you want to make this from Niskayuna, please? Can I make a motion? Any a second? Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it. E1 is a terrific company. This is right across the street from the Momentum headquarters, a big success for us. Great company. It's owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Doesn't get much better than that. They are the market leader in this type of sewer system. They're expanding. They hire a lot of employees from the city. They have a great workforce. They're very proud of their workforce. Great management, been in place for a number of years. Did they pick a contractor? Do we have that in here, Jamie, just to stay on my theme? I'm not sure they have.
They have not.
Okay, so, but it's a nice expansion, good paying jobs. This moves them over the 200 employee mark. Just can't say enough of good things about E1, great company. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we stay in Niskuna and talk about the Niskuna Plaza project, which is going extremely well. And Jamie has some additions to that project that we'd like to discuss.
Right, so this is the area where the Niskuna Co-op is located. The county came in recently, just completed all the street work, changed the dimensions of the street and the parking areas in front of a series of buildings. It's really the heart of the town center in Niskuna. Pretty substantial $1.8 million project. Metroplex would provide a $250,000 grant for the federal funds that came to the county for this. And then we're also proposing another $200,000 kind of to get the back of the house. The county's kind of done the front of the house. There's a picture there that shows the before and after. And then our other project would be in the rear area where there's an alley, a little bit of additional parking. It's in terrible condition. It's really difficult for the co-op to get deliveries. There's a mail service there with UPS and FedEx coming in. So we're just kind of doing a mill and pave, clean it up, make the water flow a little easier to the catch basins, and any supplemental money that's available to go for some amenities for this really nice project with benches and other things that are needed so people can support the businesses that are there.
Your motion, Doctor, you want to move this in this unit? Thank you. I need a second. Nancy, thank you. I want to thank Jamie for all his hard work. There's been constant outreach to the merchants. The paper has recognized this as like a model infrastructure project. Jamie had the vision and foresight, which I lack, to say we need to keep this project. We need to finish this project by doing the sides and the back. And he's right. And I think the merchants and the same group that put this project together are excited about finishing it off. I know I spoke to the town supervisor. She's thrilled. The merchants seem very happy. It's just going to put the icing on the cake as far as the Niskuna Plaza. Any other comments or questions?
I don't know if you remember the woman, Diane Hart, that used to come to our meetings back in
Yes.
2015, 2016, advocating for all of this.
Yes.
She did pass away, unfortunately, but it's good to see that all
Yes.
this work finally got done.
Yes. She was the mother of a child who had some disabilities and was very concerned about safety issues. in
Right,
that
the
area.
crosswalks at the sidewalks,
Yeah.
yes, with the lighting.
Yeah.
And our former board chairman, our board member, Bill Chapman from Niskuna, was very supportive of this, and he sent us a nice note the other day, and it's good to hear from Bill. So just an incredible project as far as the way the county reached out to the people to make sure they knew what was going on and were sensitive to their needs and got input and changed the project and did a good job. So
It looks absolutely wonderful. I mean, it really, really does. You just drive up there, everybody, it just looks terrific.
Yeah, and all the business owners are very supportive. They weren't always that way.
No,
The
I
original
know,
plan,
I
there was a
remember.
lot of
I
conflict,
remember.
but the various Carver Construction did a fantastic job. Got done with it early.
helping
Got in,
people
got
carry
out.
their groceries up to the car. Some of the Carver guys, they were just
It's
super,
incredible.
so really great. And Jamie put a lot of time and effort and saw the wisdom of this project. So any other comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor of resolution 1581, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There's no one from the public here tonight. I have a couple of comments. First, we are pursuing Restore New York funding. The state has brought back the Restore New York program. There were 5 previous rounds of funding. We won all 5 rounds. We're very proud of that. The state has $100 million on the street right now. The Restore money can be used for demo. It can also be used for renovation. There's a quarter-page ad in the Gazette this morning. Thank you, Jennifer. You may want to take a look at. It talks about an application that we're submitting with the town of Glenville to demolish 2 of the old World War II Navy buildings in Glenville. And if that grant is awarded to help with the demolition, the Leslie Group would build 2 114,000 square foot spec buildings, again, like we just talked about, at the site. Great project. There's a public hearing in Glenville in a couple weeks. It's in the ad. So we'll be out there for the public hearing to explain the project. We also are pursuing a Restore New York grant for the Wedgeway building and Kresge building to really make it pop. It is the main and main downtown. It is such an important project. We're working closely with the mayor and the city council to move that ahead. There will be an ad in the Gazette next week. Again, the ad notifies people of the public hearing. That grant, of course, is being used for renovation, and that'll appear, and we have a public hearing scheduled in mid-September. So I just wanted the board to be available, to be aware of this. We're pursuing the state money. There's 2 rounds this fall. The first round's $100 million, the second round's $150 million. We think we've developed 2 good projects, and we're being very aggressive. We're working with our grant writer, Sue Lombardi, who's terrific. We get great cooperation from the town and from the city. Both are, I don't see any issue with everyone everyone will support these projects. I mean, getting rid of these 2 World War II, buildings that are way past their useful life, helping to restore the Wedgeway buildings. It's a great thing. We are also having a ribbon cutting for the new RAD soap facility in Glenville on the 9th. Chris cannot make it. The supervisor told us today he's tied up. So if there's any chance you can be there.
Sure.
Jennifer, we can send that around to the board tomorrow. David did a great job with that project. I want to thank him for his help. They're giving out free soap at the event. So I sent it today, the invite today, and they said, "Are you referring? I need to use a better soap product." No, I just was inviting you to the ribbon cutting. But they're a wonderful company. They're growing. They're kind of like a small Beekman outfit, and we're very excited to have them in Glenville. And so we'll get that invitation out to people for next Friday at 1 o'clock. If your schedule allows, not a command performance. Any other comments from the board on any subjects? Yes.
I just, Chez Nu is back open, and they've had they have fantastic food there, so if you haven't been, stop by. They're open for lunch, and they do a great job. So they're open for lunch.
There was a nice article.
Yeah, they got a great review. I've been there twice,
Yeah.
and the wonderful family, father and daughter. The mayor, we helped draft letters that went into the liquor authority, encouraging the liquor authority quickly issue them
Move
their,
this along.
move this along.
Yeah.
They seem like wonderful people. Prices are very reasonable, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Food's great too.
Yeah, it is very good.
So,
Good point. Thank you for
so
mentioning.
I wanted to kind of highlight that because Creative Advantage is coming in. I mean, it's
Perfect for
coming
that.
back. Everything's coming back there,
Yeah.
so it's really good.
Yeah, it's
So,
really, really nice. We had a great opening at the Simone's on J Street. Seems to be doing really well. A lot of people going there and having a good time. So any other comments from the board on any subjects whatsoever? Our next meeting, we're going to try to have on October 12th, which is getting back to our regular schedule. Thank you for bearing with us. We took July off, and then we moved August back to today to allow us to move so many projects forward at a critical time. But we'll get back into our hopefully second Wednesday of the month. If something comes up and we need to do a meeting in the interim, we'll let you know as soon as we can. But right now, our plan is to go with the 12th and get back on the schedule of second Wednesday of every month.
So we're not having a September meeting.
No, not at this point. Not that I can imagine. We don't anticipate that at this point.
Subject to the call of the chair.
Right. If something pops or we need your help, but right now, I think the 12th will work fine for our schedule. Again, I want to thank our staff. We're very excited to have Danielle on board. Everybody is doing a great job. We're very grateful to them. It was a busy summer, and grateful to the board for their attention and focus on our redevelopment efforts and all of your efforts on our behalf. So thank you. With that, we can take a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Karen, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.